Stoic ever felt like life is pulling you in a million different directions? Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to get your footing? Like life is pulling you in every direction at once, leaving you overwhelmed and uncertain? Well, you're not alone. Right now, millions of people around the world are experiencing the same pressure. It's not that they lack dreams or aspirations. It's the constant chaos of everyday demands that cloud their potential. But what if there was a way to cut through the noise and find clarity? What if you could learn to approach life's turbulence with calm and resilience, just like the great thinkers and leaders who have come before us? That's where the wisdom of Stoicism comes in, a philosophy that has helped generations navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. If you've been nodding along, thinking, yes, that's exactly what I need, then I'm glad you're here. Today, we'll explore timeless Stoic strategies to help you reset, refocus, and restart. Because sometimes, all it takes is a shift in perspective to change everything. Let's dive in. The idea of resetting sounds simple, but when you dig deeper, it's incredibly transformative. It's about clearing the clutter, not just the physical stuff, but the mental and emotional clutter that weighs us down. Think about it. When you hear the word clutter, you might immediately picture a desk covered in papers or a closet stuffed with things you no longer use. But the real clutter is often invisible. It's the stress, the worries, the negative thoughts, and the emotional baggage we carry with us without even realizing it. A while back, I was feeling unusually stressed and anxious. On the surface, everything seemed fine. I was meeting deadlines, hitting targets, and ticking off all the right boxes. But something didn't feel right. My mind was cluttered, like an attic stuffed with old boxes, full of unresolved worries, doubts, and grudges. I needed a reset, not a surface-level fix, but a deep and meaningful change. The Stoics, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, often spoke about the importance of simplifying life to see clearly. They believed in discarding not just physical possessions, but unnecessary thoughts and emotions that complicate our lives. This Stoic principle became my guiding light. I began by asking myself tough questions, the kind that force you to stop and think. What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What fears are simply old habits disguised as truth? This process of reflection is like sorting through an attic. Each thought, each emotion needs to be picked up, examined, and then, most importantly, decided upon. Do I keep it? Do I let it go? This is where the real clearing begins. It's about recognizing that some worries are just noise, distractions from what truly matters. They don't need to occupy space in your mind, your heart, or your life. Resetting is about making room for new growth and new experiences. It's like preparing a garden at the start of spring. You clear out the dead leaves and weeds, not because it's fun, but because you know it's necessary for new life to thrive. Every new day is a chance to realign with your values and your goals. The Stoics teach us that true freedom doesn't come from external achievements, but from internal balance and peace. As I embarked on my journey of clearing out, I started small. One week, I focused on letting go of a grudge. Another week, I dialed back the self-doubt and turned down the volume on that critical inner voice that always told me I wasn't good enough. Each act of letting go felt like a weight lifting off my shoulders. And that's the real power of resetting. It's not just about removing the bad. It's about making space for the good, the new, the better, the life-changing. Now, let me ask you, what's cluttering your mind? What's taking up space in your life that no longer serves a positive purpose? Maybe it's resentment from a past failure. Maybe it's anxiety about the future. Or perhaps it's the unrealistic standards you set for yourself or the toxic relationships that drain your energy. Imagine if you started clearing that clutter. Imagine the freedom, the lightness, and the room to breathe and grow. Resetting is about removing what holds you back and making space for peace of mind, clarity, and strength. Resetting isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process, a habit you develop. Every day is a new opportunity to clear away what doesn't belong and reinforce what does. It's about building resilience, about learning to bounce back faster and stronger because you're no longer weighed down by unnecessary baggage. So, as you listen to this, think about what you can reset in your life today. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's deciding to forgive someone or forgiving yourself. Maybe it's setting aside a worry that's been nagging at you. Each piece of clutter you clear makes room for something invaluable: peace of mind, clarity, and the strength to face whatever comes next. As the Stoics would say, the obstacle in the path becomes the path. Every challenge, every bit of clutter we clear, shapes us. It molds us into the person we are meant to be. And then comes the concept of restarting. It's where the real test of life comes in. It's about picking yourself up after life knocks you down, dusting yourself off, and stepping back into the ring. It's a test of courage, a true measure of your resilience. The journey isn't easy, but as you clear the clutter and reset your life, you'll find that you have the strength to restart and keep going, stronger and more focused than before. So, let's make it count. Let's reset, restart, and keep moving forward, because in the clarity of a decluttered mind and heart lies the power to craft a truly fulfilling life. Key 1 to Stoic, let me share something powerful with you. This journey isn't meant for the faint of heart, but it's a journey everyone can walk. We all encounter moments when giving up feels like the only option, when surrender seems easier than pushing forward. But it's exactly during these tough times that the wisdom of Stoicism becomes a guiding light. The Stoics teach us that every new beginning is born from the end of something else. Think about it. Every setback, every challenge, every time you think you've hit rock bottom is actually laying the foundation for something greater. It's like a broken piece of pottery waiting to be remade into something even more beautiful. There was a time in my life when I believed everything was falling apart. My career, which had been my proudest achievement, was crumbling. All that hard work, all that time I'd invested, seemed to slip away in the blink of an eye. I found myself standing in the wreckage of what felt like a grand castle, a fortress I had built with my own hands, and the temptation to just sit there amidst the ruins was almost overwhelming. But then I remembered the Stoic truth. The obstacle is the way. What's in your path isn't meant to stop you. It's meant to show you the way forward. So I didn't give in. I embraced the obstacle, turned it into my path, and kept moving forward. Starting over isn't about ignoring your failures or pretending they didn't happen. It's about facing them, learning from them, and using them as stepping stones. It's about looking at failure squarely in the face and telling it, "You won't define me," because every failure carries within it a seed of growth, something that success alone could never teach. I asked myself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? And those questions became the first steps on my path to rebuilding. It wasn't about reclaiming everything I lost overnight. It was about taking small, deliberate steps forward. Each small victory was a defiance of failure, a testament to my resilience. With each step, my momentum grew. Let's be honest, starting over is intimidating. You won't always know exactly where you're headed or how to get there. But here's where the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, can help. It's about preparing yourself mentally for the worst-case scenario, not to breed pessimism, but to cultivate readiness. Once you've imagined and faced your fears in your mind, taking real-world action becomes less daunting. Think of it like rehearsing for a performance. When the curtain rises, you're ready to act. Now, ask yourself, how often do you hold back because of the fear of failure? What could you achieve if you viewed every failure as just another step forward, not an obstacle? Picture yourself like a phoenix, rising from the ashes, reborn and stronger than before. That's what restarting is all about. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about ensuring that failure never gets the final say. During my own restart, I learned the true value of community. I began to open up, sharing my struggles, connecting with others who were on their own journeys of reinvention. Together, we celebrated the small wins and pushed through setbacks. The strength I gained from those connections was invaluable. Remember, you don't have to go through this alone. Reach out, share your journey. The support of others can be one of your most powerful tools when rebuilding your life. Stoicism teaches us the power of amor fati, the love of fate. It's about embracing everything that happens to you, both the highs and the lows. Because even the hardest moments, there are lessons that can only be learned through struggle. By embracing everything on your path, restarting becomes more than just a necessity. It becomes a privilege. So if you're standing at a crossroads, unsure whether you can take the leap and start over, remember this. Every restart is a declaration of hope. It's a commitment to yourself that you're not defined by your past, but by the courage you show in moving forward. Each time you choose to restart, you're one step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start again. Create it. Make today the day you pick up the pieces and begin writing your new chapter. Your next great story is waiting to unfold. And it begins with the simple decision to rise again, to restart, and to embrace the journey ahead. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself and your way of thinking. So, think like a Stoic. Restart like a warrior. Transform your life into the masterpiece it's meant to be. Now, let's talk about a critical part of this journey, refocusing. Refocusing means keeping your eyes on the prize and aligning your daily actions with your deepest goals. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get distracted. The noise of everyday life can drown out what really matters, and your true desires can get lost in the clutter. That's where the art of refocusing becomes essential. It's about guiding yourself back to your path, to what truly matters. I remember a time in my life when I felt adrift. My goals were unclear, and my actions didn't align with my true aspirations. I was busy, but not in a meaningful way. It felt like I was sailing a boat without a compass, moving but not moving forward. Then, I discovered a Stoic principle that changed everything, prosouch, or attentive focus. This ancient idea taught me the value of mindfulness in everything I do. Refocusing is about being deliberate with your time, pruning away distractions, and staying true to what matters most. So, here's a practical step. Define your top 3 priorities. What are the 3 things that, if you achieve them, will have the greatest impact on your life? Write them down. Keep them visible. Every day, do at least one thing that brings you closer to one of those goals. Small, consistent actions will add up over time. As the Stoics believed, it's not about grand gestures. It's about those daily, intentional steps. Take control of your life. Refocus. Restart. Build the future you deserve. Key 1, Stoic every decision we make shapes our future. Refocusing is a vital part of this process, and it starts with setting clear, firm boundaries. These boundaries are not just lines. They're markers that protect your time, energy, and focus. In a world filled with distractions, it means having the courage to say no to commitments that don't serve your greater purpose. It's okay to disappoint others if it means you won't disappoint yourself. Stoicism teaches us that our time and attention are among the few things we truly control. And with this in mind, we must use them wisely. Here's something to think about. How often do you find yourself doing something just because it's what you've always done? Maybe it's a job that no longer excites you, a habit that holds no value, or a relationship that drains you instead of uplifting you. Imagine how freeing it would feel to say yes only to what truly aligns with your deepest values and goals. This is what refocusing is all about. It's not about overhauling everything. It's about making intentional choices. During my own phase of refocusing, I realized how scattered I had become. I was chasing too many goals, which meant I wasn't making meaningful progress in any area of my life. So I took a step back, reevaluated my path, and started clearing the clutter, physically, mentally, and socially. Cutting out distractions wasn't just about cleaning up my space. It was about removing the noise from my commitments, my social media habits, and how I spent my leisure time. Each piece of clutter I cleared felt like removing a blindfold. Suddenly, my goals came into sharp focus. Refocusing isn't a one-time fix. It's a continuous journey. As life changes, as our goals evolve, we need to recalibrate. It's like adjusting a compass when you realize you've been slightly off course. It's not failure. It's part of the process. If you're wondering whether it's too late to refocus, let me remind you of a Stoic truth. It's never too late to become the person you were meant to be. Every moment offers a fresh start, a chance to realign with your true aspirations. Your past decisions don't have to determine your future. The power to change your focus is in your hands right now. Take a moment today to ask yourself, what am I focusing on? Is it what truly matters to me? And if not, what can I change? Refocusing is about more than just achieving goals. It's about crafting a life that feels meaningful, a life that reflects your deepest values. Don't wait until tomorrow or next week. Start today. Let every step you take be purposeful. Let every decision be intentional. And watch as the pieces of your life begin to fall into place, revealing a picture of success that's not just about achievements, but about fulfillment. And as we wrap up, let's talk about maintaining momentum. It's one thing to hit the reset button, to realign your focus, or to reignite your passion. But the real challenge lies in keeping that momentum going. When the initial excitement fades, how do you stay on course? This is where the true journey begins. Every inspiring story you admire didn't unfold overnight. They were built on consistency, perseverance, and a steadfast commitment to the end goal. The Stoic principle of endurance, or hypomania, teaches us to keep going even when the path is steep and filled with obstacles. Think about a time you started something new, maybe a fitness regimen, a business, or a personal project. At first, the excitement was palpable, but as time passed, perhaps the enthusiasm faded. Obstacles arose that you hadn't anticipated. This is completely natural. But the key to success isn't in starting strong, it's in continuing strong. So how do we maintain momentum? First, break your big goals into smaller, manageable tasks. Each small victory keeps your spirits high and your focus sharp. It's like climbing a mountain, one step at a time, one breath at a time. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize how much progress you've made. Another vital tool for maintaining momentum is reflection. Regularly take stock of your progress. What have you learned? What could you do differently? And what can you celebrate? Reflection isn't just about patting yourself on the back. It's about learning, adjusting, and continuing forward without judgment. When was the last time you paused to appreciate how far you've come? Often, we're our own harshest critics. In the rush to achieve more, we forget to acknowledge the strides we've made. Stoicism teaches us the power of gratitude, not only for others but for ourselves. Gratitude fuels perseverance. It brightens our outlook and strengthens our will to keep pushing forward. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Lean on your support network. Share your journey. Seek advice and offer support in return. Momentum is easier to maintain when you have people cheering you on, people waiting at the finish line, or even running alongside you. As we continue our paths, let's carry with us the Stoic wisdom that life's worth lies not in our achievements, but in our actions and responses. Every day is a chance to act with purpose. So, as you move forward, take each step with intention. Embrace every challenge with courage, and greet each day with a heart full of determination. Keep striving, keep thriving, and until next time, keep living the Stoic way.